Hello and welcome to Gaming Bolt. Today we'll recap some of the biggest news from the past few days. To begin with, let's talk about the biggest game of the week, Spider-Man. Besides fidget spinners, Puddlegate is the stupidest thing to have existed in the last couple of years. Much has been made about Spider-Man's alleged graphical downgrades, but if you've watched our tech analysis of the game, or if you've watched our review, or even if you've just seen the game in action, you know that Insomniac's Megaton is an absolute looker. Something our tech analysis brings up is the fact that, similar to 2016's Ratchet & Clank, Insomniac have made use of the temporal injection technique to achieve dynamic 4K visuals. According to Insomniac's Mike Fitzgerald, director of Core, that's exactly right. While speaking in an interview with the official PlayStation blog, Fitzgerald talked a bit about Spider-Man's resolution output on a PS4 Pro on a 4K screen, and it sounds quite impressive. On a PS4 Pro, Spider-Man renders at a pixel count of 2816 by 1584, which can drop to 2560 by 1440 in taxing situations. Temporal injecting is then used to anti-alias the image for a 4K output. On a PS4 Pro, the game outputs to the TV at 4K, Fitzgerald said. Internally, most of the frame is rendered to a 2816 by 1584 or 2560 by 1440 image in expensive situations, then projected over time into the master output 4K image using the temporal injection technique mentioned above to accurately anti-alias the picture. If you've got a PS4 Pro attached to a 4K TV, this is going to be a beautiful way to show it off. On a base PS4, meanwhile, it's your regular run-of-the-mill stable 1080p resolution, when connected to a display that is at least 1080p, of course. What's even more interesting, though, is that Fitzgerald also spoke about model realistic faces for the characters in the game, talking about facial and motion capture processes. The really interesting nugget of information, though, is that the final enemy you face in the game, who shall not be named, has 1 million polygons. Our facial animation system can now accurately model the response of characters' skin as they speak and emote, and it can represent the individual movement of each of the approximately 60,000 vertices in their faces, said Fitzgerald. Every character has an extreme quality model that's used for close-ups, cutscenes, and scripted action sequences, and we built up the motion and facial capture processes we use for those moments to bring out the details of our actors' performances. The final foe you face in the game is rendered with more than 1 million polygons, more detail than we've ever had for a single character in a game before. Again, I would really suggest you go watch our tech analysis through the link below. It does a great job of showcasing just how impressive Spider-Man really is from a technical standpoint. It stands tall among Sony's best open-world exclusives so far. Now let's talk about Valve and their games. Once upon a time, Valve was a legendary developer, behind some of the most beloved franchises in the industry, and its ability to churn out high-quality hits was matched by only some others in the industry. However, in the years since, a lot has changed. With the increasing success of Steam, and Valve doubling down on its multiplayer games, it has been a very long time since they released a brand new title. In fact, Artifact, the upcoming card game, will be Valve's first new game in 5 years when it launches this year. Speaking to IGN, Valve's Jeep Barnett noted that the company is in general very aware of all the jokes and memes that percolate on the internet about them. I think we're very aware of all the jokes because all of us lurk all the forums and share them around with each other, he said. He then noted that Valve has not been doing nothing for the last 5 years. In this period, the company has invested in improvements for Steam, better customer service, investments in SteamOS, the Steam controller, and HTC Vive and some VR projects, not to mention ongoing support for their games. Even in terms of new games, Artifact has been in the works since 2015. That said, Valve recognizes that the best way to respond to these criticisms is to actually start showing results again. Now we're in a place where we're able to, as a company, invest and focus a lot more on games again, Artifact programmer Brandon Reinhardt said. The answer to, you're just sitting on your butt, sitting on a pile of money, swimming around the gold vault, is to not actually do that, to deliver a bunch of high-quality games that show we're actually working really hard. Reinhardt added that Valve fans can expect more activity from the company going forward. Over the next few years, you'll see us doing more things, he said. I hope he's right. I hope both of them are. I miss Valve and their ambition, and their uncanny ability to turn out hit after hit that push the medium forward in so many ways. I don't know if or when we'll ever get Half-Life 3, but even if we don't, if Valve were to never actually make ambitious games again, the medium would be poorer for it. Now let's talk about the biggest game of the year, Red Dead Redemption 2. Rockstar Games has released a new image for Red Dead Redemption 2, but it's not of gameplay per se. No, instead it's a wanted poster for Dutch van der Linde, leader of the Van der Linde gang that the player will be traveling with. Check it out below, courtesy of the developer's official Twitter. The poster indicates that Dutch and his gang are wanted for a robbery in Blackwater, which subsequently went wrong and resulted in multiple counts of murder, not to mention the theft of $150,000. The Pinkerton Detective Agency is on the case, but it stands to reason that other bounty hunters will also pursue the gang. In Red Dead Redemption 2, players assume the role of Arthur Morgan. Traveling with the gang and ensuring their well-being while pursuing his own morals, Arthur can embark on hunts, rob banks, and pursue tons of other side quests in the wide open world. The game is currently slated to release on October 26th for Xbox One and PS4, and Rockstar has yet to confirm a PC release. And that wraps it up. If you like what we're doing, please consider subscribing to our channel. We upload new videos daily, so make sure you don't miss them by subscribing. We appreciate your support, and we thank you for checking us out.